Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Spotlight. I am your hostess, Gayle Nicholson, spiritual coach, metaphysical genius, and miracle maker. But today, I am just the host of The Spotlight, and I am so very, very excited to talk to our guest today. She comes to us all the way from Ireland. And she is really, really amazing with what she has put into place to help other people understand ascending into mastery. So, without any further ado, please help me welcome Miss Jacqui Crutchley, personal development coach at Masterly IE. Keep in mind that is an Ireland version of the interwebs. So it's not .com, it's not .org, it's not even .us. Make sure you get the name right. It's masterly.ie. So Jacqui, how are you today? What's going on?
Hello, Gayle. Yeah, it's quite something. I'm sitting here at 7 o'clock in the evening and you're sitting in the morning. Isn't it fabulous we can still communicate?
It really is. It really is. You know, it's funny because another show that I do, Three Crones and the Woo Woo, we have myself who's in the Southwest, another person who's in New York, and then another person who's in the Netherlands. And there's like a 3-hour window that we can all work together, but we make it work. And it's a lot of fun to reach out and connect with people all over the world.
Isn't it just? And this is what it's been so amazing with COVID. It's just brought us into one big circle. Yeah. And that's what I found was absolutely incredible about the last 12 months. I've met people like you, which
same.
Probably wouldn't have been possible or even thought of, but here we are, and It's just incredible.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and I may be dating myself in saying this, but I remember going on a field trip in grade school to one of the museums in Detroit, and in there they had this prototype for a video phone, right? And everybody, the kids were like, oh, that'd be so cool. And then you've got the parents going, yeah, phone always rings when I'm in the shower. That's not going to happen. Right? But here we are, 30, 40 years later. And it's literally become how we do business in the world.
Absolutely.
Video phone calls. Crazy.
And it's like, what else is there? They would not know. This is how we do it. This is how we rock and roll, right?
Right.
I've got to know some incredible people. Never met them face to face, but they are my beautiful clients. And it's just amazing how well I know them. And I feel like they sit right next to me every single week.
Right. Now, as a coach, and we both are coaches, have you noticed, this was a surprise to me in the beginning. I started working with a couple of clients over like Messenger, and you can actually coach people without seeing their faces. You can actually pick up on the words they're choosing, the words they're not choosing, that kind of stuff. You can still do that way, but doesn't it just take it up a notch when you can see the full body language? You can catch those little ticks that goes, there's a hook there, let's look at it. Right?
Yes. I must say my day job, I call it my day job, is mental health first aid training. Mm-hmm. And we specifically talk about, because they're all saying, oh, you can't see if someone's struggling on a Zoom call. I said, you sure can. Mm-hmm. If you look out for it and you use your intuition, when Gayle is not quite herself, and you pick up on that. Yeah. And don't use it as an excuse. Go out there and support people.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Yes. And it has been quite a revelation over these last 14 months or so. Just how adaptable we really still are, as comfy as we get, and how much we like our little, coziness. When the chips are down and we want something, we will find a way to do it. Right?
We will.
Isn't that just the truth? When something is important to us, we will move mountains to make it happen.
And this is where I say to my clients, why wait for that?
Right?
Bump in the road, that crisis, or that, oh my God, what am I doing right now with my life?
Right.
Start today.
Right.
Make changes today, start improving your life. Don't wait for the bump.
Right.
Actually live your life by design.
Awesome stuff. Now, tell me a little bit about what brought you into this realm. I mean, I know you've got a day job in mental health,
Yeah.
but that's different entirely from taking fairly nominally well people. I say nominally well because we're all a little crazy this year. You know, we're not in
Yeah.
our element, but nominally well people and going, look, there's even better available. If you can let go of your good, the better is available, but you need your hands to grasp it, so to speak. So how did you get into that?
Okay. So my story, unfortunately, I was one of them that waited for that bump, and I found myself in a horrible place, spending 3 hours in my car every day, an hour in to Dublin and almost 2 hours back because I would be stuck in traffic. And I just found myself doing this over and over. And I call it the washing machine cycle. Rinse, repeat,
Right.
rinse, repeat. And I just thought there has to be more to life. And the more I turned into the Wicked Witch of the West, I realized that I had to make some changes. So a friend of mine had told me about this Thinking into Results program. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, a personal development coach, that's expensive. Of course, what are our paradigms about money and, what things cost and things like that? So I was like, yeah, okay. And I said, who does it? And she said, Bob Proctor. I was like, who? And little did I even realize I had that book, The Secret, on my shelf for 7 years. And it just sat there because shelf help.
I love it.
I love sitting here and people look at all these beautiful books and I'm going, well, if they just sit there, they do nothing for you, right?
Right.
So that's where I realized, okay, I don't want to do that 140 kilometers every day. I really do not want to do it. Coming home, I had no family life. My children were growing up around me. And I just realized that's not what I want out of life. I want to be able to spend time. And I started thinking of all the things that were possible. And I really, I call it my C-type goal is to work from anywhere in the world. Have a laptop, have an internet connection, and I could be on the beach if it was possible.
Absolutely. You know what,
So
though? I share that. I absolutely share that location independence to be able to do what I do from anywhere. That's awesome. So
yeah,
please continue.
thank you. So I looked at the program and I called up the personal development coach that works for Bob Proctor also. And I was like, tell me about this. And before she could even end probably the 10th sentence, I was like, okay, I'm signing up for it. And within 3 lessons, so you're setting goals, the first one, you're looking at the knowing, doing gap, the second one, and then you start looking at those limiting beliefs that tell you can't do that, you're too old. Oh, don't be ridiculous. Stay in your pensionable job. We were discussing this earlier, that pensionable job that people stay in, right?
Yep, the
The
golden
government job.
handcuffs.
Yeah, the golden handcuffs. That's what you called them. And then I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change people's lives. I'm going to help people not be the Jacqui that I found myself in. And I was like, okay, how do I do this? But the cost involved was like, okay, now that's expensive. And people told me, you mad. And people told me, you can't do it. Why change now? Just find something normal to do. You could get a proper degree for less than that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And Gayle, I manifested the money to pay for that course and I paid it in 7 months. Nice. And it was just like incredible because when you say to the universe, right, I'm doing this, I've got a burning desire, I've made the decision, I'm going for it. You know what? The universe says, here you are, here's all the possibilities. You just got to be open to that. Yeah. And that's where I find myself. And so I qualified as a Proctor Gallagher consultant. And I have taken people through the program It's a 6-month program,
Mm-hmm.
but we take those books, those self-help books,
Yeah.
and we actually go through them and we work through the 12 lessons, and the
Nice.
results are incredible.
Very good. Now, there's certain standards and accountabilities as a Bob Proctor coach that you have to. I mean, it's not. I would imagine. I mean, I'm familiar with Bob Proctor from even before The Secret. I've seen him speak in person once. I had no idea who he was then, but I've known who he is ever since.
Now,
But that he doesn't just go, oh, okay, here's, phone it in, here's your certificate, and bye.
oh no,
There's certain standards that you have to adhere to when you are facilitating someone else's work in their good name.
yeah.
So, how, what what do you tell your clients as far as assuring them, look, this is the rules.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this is the rules.
this is the rules.
Well, I mean, as to start off with, you sign up and you have to go through your training process. So you have to attend a training. Now, I did it mine in May last year, so we couldn't travel, but it's online, 5 days online course.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have to submit your synopsis of each lesson. So you write a report basically on each lesson, and each lesson gets marked. And then 4 of the lessons you have to then submit as a video, and they have to watch you doing it.
Nice.
So it's something you've got to know your stuff. And for me, I wouldn't, for myself, it was never a case of I can get up and wing this. I couldn't do that. I want to know when someone asks me a question, I'm able to answer that question. So it was really good to be able to know I'd done the program myself as a participant, then studying it and then delivering it.
Nice. Awesome stuff. So I want to share with people that you've got a couple of different things going on. One is your book club. Tell us about that, because it's a little bit different than what normally people think of when you hear book club.
Exactly. So normal book clubs are like, okay, I have to read the book and I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it and report back. And sometimes there's a glass of wine involved. Okay. So mine is very different to that. My book club is on a Wednesday evening, and we do pick books that are personal development books. So at the moment, we're busy reading the James Clear Atomic Habits. Okay. But the catch here is we read the book to you. Isn't that fantastic?
That's nice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's way different though than like just getting an audible book, and hearing a narrator. There's a lot more live energy. There's a lot more interaction, isn't there? A lot more ability to ask questions and get answers.
Yeah. Right. So we spend an hour. So generally we only read a chapter a week, and the chapter will be read. So pick 2 or 3 people to read the chapter. And that also builds your inner self-esteem, because now you're reading in front of people. It also builds your memory. Right. All right. So we're looking at building all the higher faculties: your will, your imagination, your perception, your reason, your intuition, and then your memory. So it helps with that part also. Nice. So people can volunteer to read, or I read, but there's always people who want to read, which is beautiful. Nice. And then I also have a psychologist who's joined me, a friend of mine.
Nice.
Who's a psychologist. So then we'll say, okay, Kim, will you tell us why people do this? And like last night, we were talking about why people do certain things. And it's very interesting how we create habits and why. And then so she's able to talk to us a little bit more in depth. So it's amazing what people do get out of that hour, and it's free of charge. Jump on, join us. And it's just such a beautiful hour of growth. People grow.
That's wonderful. I love that idea. We have a book club here in Arizona that before the pandemic, we would go once a week and we would sit and we would round robin reading it, right? So okay. that it's kind of like that, I get, but it's also where I can be in the comfort of my own home in my squishy robe and my bunny
Mhm.
slippers,
Yep.
and not have to worry about driving afterwards, or
Yeah,
all of
exactly.
that.
And
It
this
seems
is,
more comfortable.
yeah, well, this is what people do. They are the horizontal reading their book, ready for bed, because we generally finish up by 9:30 our time, and it's bedtime, so
Hmm.
people enjoy that. So
Yeah.
I call it my bedtime reading. It's
I
gorgeous.
love it. That's really cool. Well, and then you've got this other thing as well that you're offering to our, I want to say
Listeners.
our readers. I'm a writer by nature. That's what comes to mind is our readers, but no, our audience that are watching this even on the replay, and that is it's you've got a Bitly link for it. Bitly / mastery with Jacqui, and there are no Y's in that statement.
Okay, yeah. So
Mastery with
mastery.
Jacqui, so no Y's included. And so tell us what they're going to find when they click on that link. And I'm going to put
Okay.
that in the comments.
Thank you, Gail. So
Mhm.
mastery is with an I and Jackie is with an I. So that was my power of I. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. So what I'm offering is if you wanted to find out just a little bit more about the Bob Proctor program, the Thinking into Results program, and you want to know, even if it's just to find out what personal development is all about, where you're at, let's do a free discovery call. No obligation whatsoever. Just be inquisitive.
Hmm.
Because you know what? Then you make informed choices, because then you can go off and think to yourself, well, that's not for me, or wow, that is for me. And let me do a bit more research and make a decision.
Nice.
So that's what I'm
Awesome.
offering.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So please, if that seems of interest to you, please do reach out to Jacqui, and sign up for that because, like I said, I've known Bob Proctor. It surprised me when I saw him in The Secret. Okay,
Yeah.
that was like yeah, just different motivational types of things, and he's really really good at keeping things as simple as they can be.
Well, this is it, Gail. I mean,
Right?
you think it's a long time, 6 months, but it's 12 lessons.
Yeah.
And he advocates repetition because people only learn in two different ways. One, an emotional impact,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not normally nice. Okay. And then repetition, just like you learned your times tables. So we spend 2 weeks going over each lesson, and it really becomes embedded so that you make the right changes, you make the right choices after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically hold your hand for those 6, maybe even 7 months, because I throw in a couple of extra weeks of extra learning and doing this and having fun and maybe a glass of wine also one week.
Right. Right.
So that's it.
Awesome
Lovely.
stuff. Awesome. All right. Well, do you have any plans? Let me ask you this question. Okay. Let me ask you this question. When this opens up, because we're getting rumblings over here in America, like there are places that are opening to 100% capacity, and sports are starting to open to 100% capacity, though I did read that they were going to do it with vaccinated and unvaccinated sections, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm sure the people that need to figure it out will figure it out.
Not
um,
our.
right. So when this all opens up, what's at the top of your bucket list to do that you have not been able to do for the last 14 months?
Get on an airplane, Gail. Get on an airplane. I am. Well, you know what I've already done? I've already booked a holiday for Mauritius in December
Oh,
because I'm just
nice.
visualizing that I can sit on a beach and it's warm because I want a warm Christmas again. Because as you hear,
Mm,
my accent's not truly Irish.
mhm.
Okay. So originally from South Africa. So I want a warm Christmas. So
Nice.
I've just decided I've booked the holiday for myself and my children and I'm
Oh,
going.
that's
But
awesome.
Chicago, America is on my list. I've got family in Atlanta. I've got family in Los Angeles, and I've got a good friend in Chicago. So guess what?
Oh,
There's my
fantastic. Well, if you want
ticket.
to come down and see the Southwest, let me know. Let me know, cause
Thank
yeah,
you, girl.
I can show you some stuff you've never seen in your life, and you'll love it.
I can't wait. I will be there.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. Well, fantastic. I want to thank you so much for what you're doing. I mean, we need more people who are taking the programs that work
Yeah.
and sharing them out just as much as we need people that are like, nope, I'm going to do something completely original that's based on everything that I've learned from everybody else over the years, right?
Well, that's what
But
Bob did, you
and
know.
and adding their own twist to it. But we need both things. So thank you for being somebody who has the humility to go, hey, this is working. Let me show it to you, and not the ego of it's not mine, so I gotta do something over here that's just mine, and
No.
leave all of these amazing technologies in the shelf help section.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is it, Gail. That's why I say start designing your life. Start having the choices like we have. I want to work from anywhere in the world, and it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So design your life. Stop living on that hamster wheel, day in, day out, day in, day out. The whole golden handcuffs, as you put it. I love that.
Great advice, Jacqui. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you
Thank
everyone for
you.
watching. You
Thank
take
you,
care.
Gail. You too. I want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I I I love it. So I will talk to you very, very soon. For those of you out there, if you're watching this on the replay, please put hashtag replay and like, comment, and share this out. Thank you so much for your being here and for your contributing to the world the way that you do. Have a great week, Jacqui.
Thank you, Gail. Lots of love.
You too. Bye.
Bye.